All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glory is unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Yahushua, that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, hope for elect, Shalom unto you. All right, I got a quick lesson here, a news article involving prophecy. Okay, and I'll start here. I'll read both of these in Jeremiah, starting with Jeremiah 49, verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he have taken against Edom. All right, and his purposes. Now, let me go back. Okay, the Lord's name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son's name is Yahushua. The Lord's people are you Israelites, which are you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, amongst the heathen that may even look like the heathen, okay, according to your fatherline. Okay, it says that he had purposed against Edom, which Edom today are known as the so-called white people, Caucasians, and all of those people, okay, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Okay, surely, and Teman is a city in Edom, right? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and that least of the flock are you Amalekites, okay? And they're the people that's ruling the planet, or at least the Western world, all right, from the Middle East, okay, from the land of Israel, right? Shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, right? And it repeats a similar tone in the 50th chapter, the 45th verse. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, which is prophetic in itself because it's putting similar scriptures, putting Babylon with Edom. Okay, and what's Babylon with Edom? Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, okay? And his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Still talking about Amalek. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay? And that's what he's going to do. He's going to destroy the lands of Edom that they rule from today, right? The different lands, the Americas, which is Babylon the Great. They got to clean up the land of Israel, certain parts of Europe, okay? So certain parts of the planet got to get wiped out, okay? Now, okay, this is on Newsbreak, all right? This is World. Turkey's Erdogan calls for Islamic alliance against Israel. Okay, and that's who we're talking about. Okay, so when you hear Turkey, you got to go to Ezekiel 38, which I'll just read through this and quickly break it down. I'll read it in the NLT. It says, "Son of man, turn and face Gog, the land of Magog, and that land is where Russia is today." Okay, and that's prophetic. It said the prince who rules over the nations of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Give him the message from the sovereign Lord Yahweh. Gog, I am your enemy. Okay, I will turn you around and put hooks in your jaws and lead you out with your whole army and horses and charioteers in full armor and great horde army, and a great horde armed with shields and swords. Okay, that's talking about major war, particularly World War III. Okay, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. Right, Libya is going to those African nations, right? Will join you too with their weapons, with all their weapons. Okay, we know Persia is Iran, right? But here's where it gets into what we're talking about. Gomer and all its armies also will join with you. And Gomer, it says, along with the armies of Beth Togarmah from the distant north, and many others. And Gomer is talking about Turkey. Okay, and what fulfills this is this article right here. All right, right there. So the least of the flock shall draw them out. And how did Turkey get drawn out? We know Iran is against Israel, and America. But how did that happen with Turkey? Okay, because look, I put Turkey NATO member. Turkey is a 72-year-old member of this institution. Talking about NATO, the North American Treaty Organization, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It says so it can relay its concerns more in the frame of NATO and work towards its goals there. Okay, this is so much better than endless attempts to carve itself new political arenas. Now, you jump down and it says, is Turkey a current member of NATO? NATO has 32 members across Europe and North America, including the UK, US, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and Turkey. Okay, after the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991, many European countries joined: Albania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Okay, and so we see Turkey is a NATO member, but we also have this article: Turkey applies for BRICS. And let me see if they have that in there as a question also. Membership to build new alliances beyond West, because that's what the North Atlantic, that's the West. Okay, the Western Alliance. The East is the other parts of Europe and Asia, right? Look what it says here. Is Turkey an ally of Russia? As a close partner of both Russia and Ukraine, Turkey is actively attempting to broker a peaceful resolution to the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine and has hosted a number of high-profile negotiations between the two countries, which we should understand that Ukraine was once a part of the USSR as Russia was, right? It says Turkey is currently the only NATO member which is not on Russia's unfriendly countries list. Okay? Turkey has been a member of NATO since 1952 and is second largest army and is the host of the Allied Land Command headquarters. Okay? Second largest army. Okay, I think that's behind America. Okay, I also looked this one up. Who is Turkey's biggest ally? Since World War II, Turkey's most important ally has been the United States, which is Babylon the Great, which shared Turkey's interest in containing Soviet expansion. Okay. Right. So there you go. So going back to this article in duvar.english.com, right? Turkey applies for BRICS membership to build new alliances beyond the West. BRICS chair Yuri Yershakov has confirmed that Turkey formally applied to join the 9-member intergovernmental organization. The bloc would discuss potential expansion at its October summit. Experts have commented that Turkey seeks to build new alliances beyond the West with the move. All right, those are the flags right there. All right, which they should tell you. I believe, yeah, this is coming up. Turkey applied for membership in BRICS, confirmed BRICS chair Yuri Yershakov on September the 4th, speaking at the 9th Eastern Economic Forum. Yershakov told reporters that Turkey had applied for full membership and that BRICS countries would consider Ankara's request. On September the 2nd, U.S.-based news agency Bloomberg reported that Turkey had officially applied to join BRICS, aiming to establish alliances beyond the West. The report indicated that BRICS, named after Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, would discuss expansion at its summit in Russia in October. Okay, and they're basically tired of the West, and particularly America and Israel. Right? They're tired of them. All right, Bloomberg's report, citing familiar sources familiar with the matter, stated that Turkey sought to increase its global influence and build new connections beyond its traditional Western allies. The anonymous sources said that Erdogan administration believed that the geopolitical center of gravity was shifting away from developed countries. Okay, because they're doing real deals over there with Russia. Real backed currencies. Their currency isn't inflated or about to hyperinflate. You know, they actually have oil and things to actually trade with, right? As speculation about Turkey's BRICS application persisted, it was announced that President Recep Erdogan, okay, had accepted an invitation to attend the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia. Yushakov confirmed that Erdogan had accepted Russia's invitation to attend the summit in Kazan, the capital of the Republic of Tartarstan. Tatarstan. Yeah. The EU responded to reports of Turkey's application to join BRICS. During a press conference in Brussels, European Commission spokesperson for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Peter Stano stated addressed the matter, stating that Turkey could decide what was best for itself, form alliances, and cooperate like any country. Stano added, as for Turkey-EU relations, Turkey is a candidate country for EU membership. We have the customs union and excellent trade relations. All right, Turkey, they want to do business, but they're looking for expansion beyond the West, and it told you why in the other article. And when I get into that other article, which is in this one, that's pretty much it. I'll read this last paragraph. However, Stano noted that candidate countries must respect the EU's values and the obligations under agreements. We expect candidate countries to share the EU's values and align with foreign policies with ours. Their foreign policies with ours, Stano said. He further emphasized that countries accepted into the EU must fully align all their policies, including those related to trade agreements, with EU policies. Right? That's why they're looking outside of them. Okay, and back to this article. Turkey's Erdogan calls for Islamic alliance against Israel. Okay, Istanbul. This is Reuters reporting. Says Turkish President Erdogan said on Saturday Islamic countries should form an alliance against what he called the growing threat of expansionism from Israel, drawing a rebuke from the Israeli foreign minister. Okay, because they're expanding beyond into Pakistan and Pakistan. Oh my gosh. Palestine. Excuse me. It says right here he made the comment after describing what Palestinian and Turkish officials said was the killing of Israeli troops of a Turkish American woman taking part in a protest on Friday against settlement expansion in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. The only step that will stop Israeli arrogance, Israeli banditry, okay, and Israeli state terrorism is the alliance of Islamic countries. Erdogan said at an Islamic school associated event near Istanbul. Okay, he said recent steps that Turkey had taken to improve ties with Egypt and Syria. Okay, these are names that you hear in prophecy, are aimed at forming a line of solidarity against the growing threat of expansionism. which that's why they formed NATO, to stop Russia from expanding, but that's not who's expanding. Okay, when they made that deal, it was in the 50s, during the Cold War, okay, and Russia hasn't expanded. They're just gaining back the countries that broke up from 1991, if you actually watch what Russia's doing. Okay, all those Crimeas and Ukraines and whatnot, they're getting those back. Okay, it says forming an alliance with Saudi Arabia against the growing threat of expansionism, which he said also threatened Lebanon and Syria because they believe they're going to go right up there. When you look at the map, those are just north of Israel. They're going to go right up there to get them. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said in a statement that Erdogan's remark was a dangerous lie and incitement, and that the Turkish leader has been working for years with Iran, which is a known enemy of Israel, to undermine the region's moderate Arab regimes. Erdogan hosted Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, something like that, in Ankara this week, and they discussed the Gaza war and ways to further repair their long frozen ties during what was the first such presidential visit in 12 years. Ties between them started thawing in 2020 when Turkey began diplomatic efforts to ease tensions and with estranged regional rivals, including the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, right? And that's what Ezekiel 38 is going into. Those nations are starting to band together. The Most High is bringing all those minds together, and Russia's the leading cause of that. Okay, that's why I said I will put hooks in thy jaws. Okay, when you go to Joel the 3rd chapter, it said, "Let the weak say that I am strong." Where do you think they're getting a lot of that from? They're building their economies with Russia, with trade with Russia, as well as building their armies with trade with Russia. Okay, so they're all building themselves together. Okay, Erdogan said in July that Turkey would extend an invitation to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad anytime for possible talks to restore relations between the two neighbors, who severed ties in 2011 after the outbreak of the Syrian civil war. Israel's military said after Friday's incident that it was looking into reports that a female foreign national was killed as a result of shots fired in the area, that details of the incident and the circumstances in which she was hit are under review. There was no immediate comment on Friday's incident from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Okay, so the least of the flock is drawing them out. Now, what are they drawing them out into? To World War III or Armageddon? Armageddon. Okay, so when I go back into the commentaries under Ezekiel the 38th chapter, all right, there's one listed, Armageddon, what, where, and when, right? Which comes down, this is Dr. J. Vernon, what's the rest of this guy's name? Dr. J. Vernon McGee, okay? Excuse me. It says, Armageddon has caught the imagination of every man. Every great war was or threat of war always raised the awesome image of Armageddon. Again and again, that word occurs in the literature of the world. After World War I, for instance, a motion picture was made called, quote, The Four Horsemen and the Apocalypse, which depicted World War I as being the final war of mankind. Then when World War II took place, the world was shocked by the Blitz of Britain and then the release of the atomic bomb. Okay, what does that go right into? Right in Revelation the 13th chapter, it said they have power to come down from heaven. Let me see what it says exactly. The quote, make fire to come down from heaven, is what it says. Right around here. Yep, 13th verse. Yep. Verse 12. Matter of fact, verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. This is a two-party rulership system of the ancient Roman Empire. And this new West, NATO EU, okay, is the and America is the rebirth of the Roman Empire, okay? It's not a different beast, it's the same beast reborn, okay? And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, showing you that it's the same beast, okay? And that's why when you go into the image of Daniel, the legs and the feet were the same, okay? Part iron and part clay, okay? But it's the same part of the body still ruling, right? It says, before him, and called it the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, the Roman Empire style of life. Everything going on in the ancient Roman Empire is back today, but it's upgraded, okay? But the same general basic ideas, core ideas are back. You know, rainbows and alphabet soup, okay, that's back. PDFs are back. Okay, war all over the earth and spread thin is back. Okay, all these different ideas and the way they rule and the governments and the coups, and even back to the point of the Israelites prophesying against that country. Okay, all this is back. Okay, the Lord was around in that time, and he's back in these times. Well, he'll be back in these times, okay? Under the same people, the same rulership, if you will. Okay, it says, whose deadly wound was healed, showing it's the same beast. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And that's what that's referring to, the ability to drop that bomb. That's why America gained so much leverage in the earth as far as military might, because they had that atomic bomb, which sprouted into the hydrogen bomb, which then sprouted into the nuclear. Okay, and now it's at such a level now that it's ridiculous how much power in these bombs there really are nowadays. Okay, it continues saying, many folks said, this is back in the article, commentaries of Dr. J. Vernon McGee, this is it, this is Armageddon, but it wasn't. It said, from that day down to the present hour, there has been a real uneasiness in the hearts of men about the future. Yeah, the Cold War was it, and that was the 50s and 60s. Okay, but nothing ever turned hot, but now it's starting to turn hot, and more importantly, the prophetic pieces on the chessboard are starting to align themselves. Okay, and this Turkey situation is one of them. And even the least of the flock drawing them out, what they're tired of the way Israel is doing in the Middle East, hey, and expanding, that's becoming a problem. Okay, a great number of books have been written about by outstanding scholars in this connection. Armageddon is an event that has captured the imagination of every student of Scripture, and of course, a great many sensational things have been said about it. To bring our subject into focus, let us consider two key passages of Scripture referring to Armageddon. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper to the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any gods, for he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate he shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver, and with precious stones and pleasant things. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds, and with strange gods, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. He shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. And at that time, at the end, shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. This is Daniel 36 and 41. Okay. So I'll jump down. It says where, basically trying to figure out where this is at. Armageddon, which we know where this is at, man. This is in the Middle East. It's in the Fertile Crescent. And if you watch when armies are moving around, that's where they're moving around to. Even the mighty Euphrates has dried up so those armies can move around across it. Okay? Said, now let's see what the scriptures have to say. You may be shocked if you don't already know that Armageddon is mentioned only one time by name. There are many references to it. Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? As we shall see, but the only time it is given a name is in Revelation 16, verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon. They're guessing at a lot of this stuff, but you know, some of them hit right. But let me get into that. I gotta go up out of this, the blue letter. All right. Okay, and that was the verse there. Let's go into it. That word should be Armageddon. Armageddon. G717. Armageddon. Okay, but Armageddon, don't Gedon, Armageddon. All right. The hill or city of Megiddo. Gad is mountain. All right. All right. The scene of the struggle of good versus evil is suggested by the battle plain of Adresleon, which was famous for two great victories of Barak over the Canaanites and of Gideon over the Midianites, and for two great disasters, the deaths of Saul and Josiah. Hence, in Revelation, a place of great slaughter, the scene of a terrible retribution upon the wicked. The RSV translate the name as Har-Megiddo, the hill, as R is the city of Megiddo. All right. Hebrew. Har. Okay. Mountain or hill. Megiddo, right? What word? Godad. Penetrate, cut, attack, invade. Alright. So let's go back more. Let's see. This is I think the point's been made, but let's go one more. Joel 3 verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Which we get into that name, Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. Okay, Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, Yahweh has judged. Okay, there was no J, so we read beyond that. Okay. The place of ultimate judgment, right? The same place of Armageddon. Right? It's talking about the same event. Okay, which separate Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives, through which the Kidron flowed. Okay. All right. So that's what that's talking about. Okay, so this is that event and that main situation where that takes place. Okay, 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay, that's what that's going to happen at, all right? And that's pretty much the point. All right, so prophecy, that's where you go back to the top. For behold, uh, in those days, this is verse 1 of Joel 3, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, that's the Israelites, I will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, talking about Armageddon, and the mountain of troops, where Jehoshaphat, where the Heavenly Father will judge the earth, right? And plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, so that's pretty much the point. Okay, so this is that event, that situation. And this ties right into Turkey. Turning on Israel, because Israel's allies are America and a lot of the EU nations. Okay, and now them looking toward the BRICS and outside the West because of the things that's happening over in Israel, this is prophetic. Okay, this is what we're looking for to get out of this captivity for the Lord to return in the conditions of World War III. All right, so Lord willing, that if I give all praise and glory to the Yahweh, Bashim Yashai, Bashim Rakakawadash, the ones to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love to you, hopefully, to the next one, Shalom.